Formula One kicked off its closed-door shakedown for the 2026 cars in Barcelona, and honestly, it was a bit of a mixed bag. We've got three main stories to unpack here. First, how the day actually went down on track, because yes, despite all the secrecy, some details leaked out. Second, what the drivers are saying about these radically different machines after their first proper taste. And third, the whole drama around access and transparency, because let's be real, the sport tried to lock this down tighter than Fort Knox, and that sparked some debate. So let's break it all down piece by piece and see what we can actually learn from day one. We begin with what actually happened on track, because despite the secrecy, we do have some solid information. Mercedes was first out of the blocks with Kimi Antonelli behind the wheel, followed by Audi's Gabriel Bortoleto and Alpine's Franco Colapinto. Now here's where things get interesting. Not everyone showed up. Ferrari and McLaren had already confirmed they wouldn't run until Tuesday, which is fair enough. They're probably fine-tuning last-minute bits. Williams, they're not coming to Barcelona at all, which we'll get into later. And Aston Martin won't be ready until Thursday at the earliest, meaning they're only getting 2 days instead of the allocated 3. So who actually got meaningful running? Haas absolutely smashed it in terms of volume. Esteban Ocon racked up 154 laps, which is genuinely impressive for day one of a completely new technical package. Mercedes wasn't far behind with 149 laps split between Antonelli and George Russell. That's proper mileage, and it suggests their power unit reliability is holding up well, which aligns with what we saw at their Silverstone filming day. Now the new teams had a tougher time. CADILLAC managed 44 laps total between Bottas and Perez, while Audi only got 27 with Bortoleto before technical gremlins stopped play. Audi's already said they've identified the issue and expect to fix it, which is normal for testing. Red Bull's Isaac Hadjar did 88 laps, Racing Bull's Liam Lawson managed the same, and Colapinto got 60 despite spending time in the garage. The key takeaway? Some teams are clearly further along in their preparation than others. Right, so what about the actual performance side of things? Well, here's where it gets tricky, because the lap times that leaked, and yes, some enterprising folks managed to tap into the timing system before it got shut down, are basically meaningless at this stage. Isaac Hadjar apparently topped the charts with a 1:18.159, George Russell was half a second off that, and the spread from fastest to slowest was nearly 8 seconds. But come on, we're talking about teams running completely different programs, fuel loads all over the place, and brand new systems being validated for the first time. Nobody's pushing for lap time yet. What's more interesting is what George Russell said after his stint in the W17. He was pretty complimentary about the power units across the board, actually. He mentioned that these cars are probably the quickest he's ever seen passing through Barcelona, which tells you the power delivery is genuinely impressive. And he specifically called out Red Bull's engine performance, saying he was impressed by what he saw from them. That's notable because Mercedes have been getting most of the hype, but Russell's making it clear that Red Bull powertrains aren't sleeping on the job either. In other news, the sound has changed and people are noticing. Without the MGUH, the exhaust gases flow more freely, and apparently you can really hear the difference when the cars go past. It's louder, more visceral. Plus, visually, these cars look different. Shorter wheelbase, but same wheel height means they appear more muscular, more compact. It's a proper aesthetic shift. And then there's the driver feedback. Most of them are saying similar things. It's very different, but once you get your head around it, it's manageable. Hadjar reckoned the cars are more predictable and simpler than the previous generation, with the driver having more control. Antonelli said the power unit requires more management, but it's doable. Colapinto and Ocon both emphasized how complicated it all is. The consensus? Different, challenging, but not alien. These are still racing cars, just with a completely new rule book underneath. So where does that leave us after day one? Look, it's way too early to crown anyone, but we can see some patterns forming. Mercedes and Haas clearly came prepared, racking up serious mileage without major dramas. That reliability is gold dust when you're validating completely new tech. The new teams, Audi and Cadillac, are facing the expected teething troubles, but that's the nature of the beast when you're starting from scratch. Red Bull's engine apparently has serious grunt, according to Russell, which should keep things interesting. What really matters now is how quickly everyone can translate these early runs into actual race pace. We've got 2 more days here, then Bahrain testing, and honestly, that's where the picture will get clearer. The 2026 regs are a total reset, so previous form means less than usual. Anyway, if you want to keep up with how this all develops, hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you reckon about these early signs? Anything worry you or excite you about what we're seeing? Let's chat about it down there.